Hello, this is senior forward Julia Gilbert from the St. Cloud State women's hockey team. This is the Jeff Giesen Show on KVSC.
Welcome to the Jeff Giesen Show, the award-winning Jeff Giesen Show. I'm Scott Gross, your host, along with Jeff Giesen, the head coach of the St. Cloud State women's hockey team. And coach, last weekend you guys were on a plane ride to Columbus, Ohio, and it turned out pretty good, at least the Friday night game. You guys were down 2-1. You would come back on a late goal by Carrie Cohen to tie things up at 2, and then you guys would go into the shootout, and you guys would win that 2-1. Goals by Amanda Monkman and Molly Mott in rounds 2 of 3. So talk a little bit about the resiliency that you saw from your ladies in the Friday night contest.
Well, I just think it shows the character of our team. We've every game we've been in has been going to be tight, and that's the way we're kind of designed right now. We're going to play tight games, and they didn't quit. And we finally got a little puck luck. Carrie's kind of went in from a bad angle, but that's hockey, and we've had a lot of those go against us. So that tied it up late, and things worked out for us in the shootout. And any points you can get on the road in the WCHA are huge points. So those were big. Another shootout.
You had 2 in the exhibition. You had 1 versus Quinnipiac, and now you have another one. So it looks like you guys were well prepared as you went 2 for 3 in the extra frame there in overtime.
Well, that was part of the plan in all the preseason games, or the 2 exhibitions, was to do it just for the mere point of practicing it. And obviously we spent some time in it. In practice, you got to find out who's kind of comfortable and who can do some things, and whose go-to move is going to work every time. So just having girls know that it's coming now. It's not like, oh my gosh, I have to go. I'm on the spotlight. I think that's been helpful for us.
The 2 ladies we had on the program last weekend had a pretty big weekend for you, Amanda Monkman and Molly Mott. Molly Mott, a couple goals over the weekend. She also had 1 in the shootout, as did Amanda Monkman. Talk a little bit about the rise from Amanda going and playing defense and now having her on one of your 4 lines.
Yeah, Monk's kind of trying to find a role yet, and she's done a good job playing that 4th line forward, and she's got a pretty good shootout move, and that's why we've kind of went to her. So that's her niche right now. But she's come a long way, and she's a great person in the locker room and a good leader for us.
On that Friday night game, I want to hang on to it a little bit longer. The overall mood or feelings you had as the game progressed? You guys would be down and you'd come back and down and come back and then go into overtime and talk a little bit. Could you sense that something pretty good was about to happen with your team?
Well, I think with this group, I think that's the feel you get all the time. I think I heard Sid and Julia both mention like it hadn't been that way in the past, and I think with this team, there's always that there is no quit and there's no. It's not about is it going to be bad or really bad. It's going to be how are we going to get it good again. So I think that's a testament to them. I mean, they're playing the game, and that's the way the weekend went.
Monkman also said last weekend in the interview with her that she sees kind of a different attitude with the team this year, where last year she said maybe it was okay if they would lose, and now, at least early on the season, they get a little pissed if they lost, especially the one versus Quinnipiac. So she said that was good to see that it kind of stung the girls a little bit, and they're ready to come out and try again.
Yeah, I mean, and that like, it goes to the kids in the room. I mean, I set the tone to a certain extent, but I walk out of the room and it's the 20 of them in there, and they have to take it from there. So with the leadership and just the attitude of the girls in the room this year, that seems to be the sense. But it's on them, and like I said, they play the games and they're going to set the tone for it.
Julie Friend was in that contest, faced a flurry of shots. I think 41 was the overall total. So after the tie, the shootout win for you guys, her record on the season was 0-2, and she was doing a phenomenal job. She got the start again on Saturday. And what was the reasoning by going with her back-to-back days and not going with Katie?
Just that coach's gut. I thought Julie played great on Friday, and she made a lot of saves, and she was out and seeing the puck. And, thought we'd roll it early and just see what happens when she goes back-to-back.
Well, it would turn out to be one of those games where it would not go her way, and you guys would be down 3-0 on Saturday, but your girls would be resilient again, and they would come back 43 seconds into the third period. Abby Ness would chart her first goal of the season to make the score 3-1. Molly Mott and Julia Gilbert helped out on that one, and then a little while later, Molly Mott would bring it within 1, And getting an assist on that one was Audrey Hanmer. So it was 3-2. And what was the mood on the bench at that point?
We were pretty energized even coming out from the period, and it wasn't definitely anything that I said. But I think we, and then we got that early one, and I think they just, now they felt they were in it right from the get-go. So there was a lot of enthusiasm, and that kept going right through the game. I mean, even when it got to 4-2 late, there was still some hope. We got the goalie out for almost a full 2 minutes. So, there was no this is over or anything like that. It was like we got a chance to get back in this.
Now the interesting thing is they would get that one later. It would be 4-2, and in this game, Julie Friend only saved 23 shots compared with Ohio State's Chelsea Knapp, who had to go 28. So you outshot them, but you guys came up shorter on the scoreboard. Whereas the other night they pummeled Julie, and you guys skated away to a tie and a shootout win.
Well, like I told the girls all the time, we don't look at the shot chart. We don't look at the shot totals. That doesn't dictate the game, because you can look at box scores from around the country every night, and teams that got outshot get the loss. So maybe that's something more for you guys in the media to talk about. But I even made that mention to them on Saturday after the game, is we can't keep looking at that thing, because we don't look at it as coaches. It's like it's all about the grade A opportunities and what kind of chances they're getting versus how many shots they put on the net.
Even when you guys were down 3-2, it looked like you had a power play opportunity or two to try and get back into the game, and then as soon as you guys would get one on, then I think it was diffused where you guys had to go back in the box. So you guys battled back. It was 3-0. You got yourselves down by 1 goal, 3-2, and you had opportunities to chisel it away. Even though the score says 4-2, in watching this and following Twitter, whoever does Twitter for you guys is a phenomenal job. We're all watching to see what the girls are doing because we can't make it to Columbus. But you had some pretty good opportunities there, and I would say, as a head coach, looking at this weekend series versus Ohio State last weekend, that you'd have to be pretty happy.
No, yeah, I take like I said earlier, we'll take any points on the road. We would have loved to get a couple more out of there, but those are points that we have in the bank now. So, you go out there and get swept, and now that's 2 games that you don't have a chance at. So we'll take the points, and that's a good couple on the road for us.
What are some things you're seeing on the ice that's different? You guys are putting up more goals now. You had 1 in the opening series, and you have 4 here in the second series. You could say you have 6 if you count the shootout ones. But what are you seeing differently? Is it more better rushes? Is it better passing? Is it moving the goaltenders on the other team? What do you see as a coach that these girls are doing?
Well, I just think they're playing with a little bit more confidence, and we're shooting the puck more. We're shooting to score more, and obviously, the little things we preach about. We're stopping in front of the net. We're doing, going to the net. We're following up rebounds and then getting in front. We get back to the point. We got some pretty good defensemen that can shoot the puck pretty hard. And, Molly's, the second goal on Saturday night was a tip-in because Molly's got herself in the right spot. So just all those little things. And I think it'll keep getting better. I think they know they can score some goals now, and that's, confidence breeds confidence.
He's Jeff Giesen, the head coach of the St. Cloud State women's hockey team. They're 0-2-2. They'll get ready to go to Wisconsin this week. And let's break. We'll bring in a couple of the athletes for the St. Cloud State Huskies. We'll talk with Sydney Burghardt and Julia Gilbert. That after this short break right here on KBSC.
KBSC brings our unique blend of Minnesota music to you every Monday night from 7 until 10 p.m. I'm John Drake, host of The Area on 88.1 FM. The Area features music from local artists from St. Cloud, the Twin Cities, and beyond. The program showcases new breaking musicians, current established Minnesota bands, and legendary, sometimes obscure, records from the artists who put Minnesota on the music map. Following The Area is Monday Night Live. Mondays are a must for Minnesota music fans on your sound alternative, KVSC.
Hello, this is senior forward Amanda Monkman from the St. Cloud State women's hockey team. This is the Jeff Giesen Show on KBSC.
And welcome back to the Jeff Giesen Show. It's now time for our player segment. We're now joined by Sydney Burghardt, who wears number 13 for the St. Cloud State Huskies. A pretty good weekend for you over the weekend, Sydney. You had an assist in the Friday night game. Talk a little bit about how you guys played, how you felt you guys played over the weekend in Columbus.
I thought there were a lot of good things, obviously some building blocks. We didn't quit and we kept going, and obviously that showed with our 2 points on Friday.
Talk a little bit about your overall feel of the first two series of the year. You had Quinnipiac here in the opener, then you guys had your first taste of being on the road and came away with 2 ties in each of those.
You know, it's obviously good. We're having some success early on. We haven't had that in the previous years, so I think that's a good motivator for us to keep continuing, working hard in practice and just building on things that maybe we're a little deficient on so that we're good by the end of the year.
Sydney, what were some things that you worked on personally throughout the summer to get ready for this season?
Obviously my conditioning, strength, so I can last during the game, and just puck skills. I need to work on some scoring, so obviously concentrate a lot on puck handling and whatnot.
What would you say is one of your strong suits being on the ice?
I think I'm a decent skater, and I can get from point A to point B and just work hard, get pucks to people, and defensively, I've been penalty killing a lot, so I've been happy with that.
Yeah, you're doing a very good job, especially when I've covered you. I've mentioned your name a lot. You're buzzing up and down the ice and clogging down shooting lanes. And talk a little bit about your goaltender, Julie Friend, and how amazing she was, especially on the Friday night game. I think she faced somewhere along 41 shots that night.
Yeah. No, she's been awesome. Our team obviously starts at the back end, and to have a goalie back there to stop everything when we're lacking is really awesome. And she's not much more to say, but she's been amazing for us.
What kind of different styles does Julie have compared to that of Katie, and how different is it working with both of those?
I think Jay, she really challenges the puck. She comes out. She doesn't go down a whole lot. She's just really aggressive, and Katie's very, very flashy, and they both get the job done, so I guess that's all that matters.
Talk a little bit about maybe what the attitude was on the plane ride home. You guys 2-2 tie. You guys won the shootout. That had to be pretty thrilling there in Columbus. And then on Saturday, it looked like things were kind of getting away from you guys. I think you were down 3-0 at one time, and then you guys would start to battle back in the third. 2 consecutive goals, made it 3-2 before they finally put one away. But the resilience you guys showed was really nice to see.
Yeah, no, I mean, we were happy with our weekend, but it's good but not good enough. We would have loved to finish that one off, but I think for us to even come back from that deficit was really important. It hasn't happened a lot in past years, so I think that's really something to build on and something to look forward to.
This weekend, now you guys will take a long bus ride to go down to Madison, Wisconsin, a team that kind of had your number the last couple of years, especially last year. They beat you 6 straight, especially in the playoffs. What do you know about the Badgers when you face them this weekend?
They're obviously a very well-coached team. Mark Johnson always does a good job. They lost one of their best players, but I'm assuming they'll have lots of others that are going to be stepping up, and you just expect what you've seen in the past, and they're a very good team, and we have to come out really hard against them.
What are some things that you guys are working on this week to maybe utilized against them this weekend?
Obviously, we always work on our defensive game. If they can't score goals, then that's, they're not going to win the game. And a lot of our scoring, just so that we can get the head start on them.
Very good. Thanks, Sydney.
Yeah, thank you.
Sydney Burghardt wears the number 13 for the St. Cloud State women's hockey team. And I'll pass the microphone over to Julia Gilbert. She wears the number 14. And Julie, how good did it feel to get that first goal in the regular season? I know you had a 2-goal game in the preseason, but now you got one that actually counted.
It felt good just to get that monkey effort back right away, and I don't know, hopefully the floodgates can open now and I can put some more in.
Talk a little bit about the 2-2 tie and the shootout that you guys had and won in Columbus. What was the mood like after you guys were off the ice and went back to the hotel room that night?
Obviously, getting 2 points on the road is great any day. So we were happy with the outcome. Obviously, we would have liked the win, but we came back from the 1-goal deficit in the third, and the mood was really good in the locker room. I don't know, getting 2 points is better than none.
So what happened on Saturday? You guys kind of came out a little slower. Ohio State was scoring on you 3 goals. You guys allowed, and then you guys would come charging back after that.
Ohio got 2 quick ones right in the first, and then we kind of battled back there. And in the third period, we got 2 quick ones right away, and then they ended up getting a power play, and they got a power play goal, and it kind of just fell from there. But I thought our resilience was really good in the third period just to come back right away.
Were you guys maybe a little too aggressive in the Saturday game with the penalties?
I thought it was the same as Friday. It was just, I don't know, things happen in games, so the refs made some calls, and we couldn't kill it off.
2 goals in each game. That has to sit pretty well with you guys. I know that the opening week, you guys went to a 0-0 tie with Quinnipiac, and then you fell 3-1 after scoring the first goal in the game versus the Bobcats, and now you go on the road. You get 2 on Friday night. You get 3 more in the shootout, and then 2 more on Saturday. So it looks like the goals are starting to come.
Yeah, it really seems like that. Anytime we can get 4 goals in a weekend, it's good for us. Hopefully we can keep it going and get more so we can get more wins out there.
Your thoughts on facing Wisconsin?
Wisconsin's always a good team. They're very well coached. We just have to play our game and play 60 minutes of every game, and then we can give ourselves the best chance.
As far as scoring, have you guys done anything differently in the last week to put more between the pipes?
No, we kind of work on it every week. Scoring's a big emphasis in our practices, so we've just been doing what we've been doing always, and it seems to be helping, so hopefully it'll keep going here.
What have you been working on in practice to start generating goals? Is it more passing? Is it wide open looks? Is it
we do a lot of zone entries and a lot of habit things like getting in front of the net, stopping in front, getting those garbage goals.
Very good, and congratulations on getting your first of the year. Hopefully you'll get a couple more this weekend.
Hopefully.
All right, number 14, Julia Gilbert for the St. Cloud State women's hockey team. We'll break. We'll come back. We'll preview the Wisconsin Badgers with the head coach, Jeff Giesen, right after this short timeout on KVSC.
There's another tweet on KVSC's Husky Hockey Twitter page. 88.1 FM has always been your home for Husky hockey, but we need the latest news about the St. Cloud State hockey team. Follow us on Twitter. Twitter.com/KVSC Hockey is the address, and you can find starting lineups, score updates, reports from practice, and so much more. KVSC is tweeting away with the Husky Hockey Twitter. So log on today and follow us at Twitter.com/KVSC Hockey.
Hello, this is senior forward Amy Olsen from the St. Cloud State women's hockey team. This is the Jeff Giesen Show on KVSC.
And welcome back to our final segment of the award-winning Jeff Giesen Show. Scott Gross, along with the head coach of the St. Cloud State women's hockey team, Mr. Jeff Giesen himself. Wisconsin this weekend, a team that you guys had a hard time with last year. 6 straight losses, none of them, as close as you'd like them to be. What do you know about Wisconsin this year?
Well, Wisconsin's Wisconsin. They're always going to be tough. They got some elite players. They got their goaltender back that should have probably been with the Olympic team this year. So they're going to be the tough as always. I think defensively they're going to be as good as anybody in the league. So we're in for another tight, probably real tight game, and hopefully we keep playing playing defense the way we've been playing and limit their opportunities.
In practice this week, what are some things that you're keen on as far as attacking Wisconsin?
Well, I think obviously first and foremost is just good team defense, because that's where it starts for us, and we're gonna we'll limit their opportunities and then try to take advantage of ours, and then it's just gaining off that confidence we had last week in Ohio State and some girls that got on the scoreboard, and hopefully we can keep moving that around. Our power play's got to get a lot better right now. I think we're 1 for 20 something on the power play right now. That's got to improve. Obviously, that's going to be a focal point of the week of practice here.
Is that just a personnel move of finding people that click together, or is it something that the personnel are doing on the ice that they're not supposed to be doing?
No, I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, obviously, we've made a couple tweaks and just getting people comfortable with, and getting some options out there. But your power play, it's just like men's hockey and at every level, special teams is key. And right now ours is a little bit below average. We need to get our power play clicking.
2 weeks into the season, last weekend we talked about some of the freshmen that you've been impressed with. Who have you been impressed with so far 2 weeks into the season?
All of our freshmen have really contributed. I think Kelsey Celine has played well. I think our defensemen have all played great roles. Kristen Moody's played one game, Alex Mackrick and Carolyn Markstrom have all played very solid and well, and just getting a few. I mean, you're not going to know how they're going to do until maybe Christmas, because they're going to take a while to get adjusted to the speed, the travel, the different games, different. Now we're going into Wisconsin, where totally different atmosphere than we're going to have in Ohio State. They're going to have bigger crowds, a lot louder, a lot different settings. So all those things play into it with a freshman. So, to evaluate our freshmen right now, I would, they're doing a great job, and they're doing on the line that we hope, and we'll talk more about them at Christmas and see where everybody's at.
Julie Friend has been playing lights out so far. She's had 3 starts, and she's 0-1-2 now. Talk a little bit about her play.
When Julie's playing on, she's as good as anybody in the country. I'm convinced of that. You see her, when she's square to the puck and she's out seeing things and out challenging, she's as good as we get. So, she gives us a chance, and then as does Katie. When Katie's played and she's on, we got 2 goaltenders where size is a big deal. I mean, we got pretty tall goaltenders, and that's a big thing for our sport right now.
And now the goals starting to come, Molly Mott, one-year leaders. You're seeing goals out of Julia Gilbert. You got a goal out of Abby Ness. So some of these players that we talked about in the preseason, Coach, they're starting to get those goals, and hopefully they can keep them coming.
Well, yeah, that's a plan. That line, we've got those 3 together right now. The 3 you just mentioned, and they're starting to click a little bit. They just had a few days last week and then the game, so we're going to keep them together this week, and we'll hopefully they keep building off that.
A better bonding trip, the airplane ride to Columbus or the 6-hour ride to Madison?
Always on the bus is better bonding, because you can at least chat it up, and it's just you. You got to be a little bit professional when you're on the plane. Obviously, you got a bunch of other people. We actually traveled back with the Gopher volleyball team, so a little different bonding than the plane.
Coach, thanks for the time, and good luck down in Madison this weekend when you guys take on the Wisconsin Badgers. Hopefully you guys can muscle out some more points.
Yeah, thanks.
Jeff Giesen, the head coach of the St. Cloud State women's hockey team right here on the Jeff Giesen Show. That'll do it for this week. The women are traveling down to Madison. You can follow them on Twitter, and you can find out what happened next week as well, right with the next Jeff Giesen Show right here on KVSC.
Hello, this is junior goaltender Julie Friend from the St. Cloud State women's hockey team. Follow everything Huskies 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right here on the KVSC Sports Stream.